The question I will be answering first is the same one around, can sustainability and communication drive sustainability? Yes, of course. You would expect me to say yes. The problem is that communications has very often been used to drive consumption. So in the UK, only a very few years ago, most of us would have start the day with a basin wash, a hand basin. Then some clever marketeers worked out that they could sell a lot more products if everyone took a shower every day, or maybe even twice a day. So the clever advertising executives inserted some clever copy into their adverts. They said, use pear soap in your daily shower. Everyone watching TV sits up. Daily shower? Daily shower? Oh my goodness, I'm not having a daily shower. Am I dirty? Is my family dirty? I'd better start having a daily shower. And of course, all of this is back of mind. It barely makes it into our consciousness. So communications can change behaviour. The question is how we can harness it to drive sustainability. So a few words on Futera. We are a communications agency. Our objective is to make sustainable development so desirable it becomes normal. I'm the chief executive. I sit on the United Nations Task Force. I work all over the world on climate change and sustainability communications. My favourite place to work is Brazil. I've trained in Rio, Sao Paulo, Curitiba. And why I like working in Brazil is every time I'm here, I'm inspired by this sense of progress and this demand for a positive approach to sustainability, which is key. So the question is, how can communications drive sustainability? Well, there are reams of papers written on this. I have read most of them. There are scientific papers, there is behaviour change modelling, and to summarise the critical finding, I'm going to give you The Simpsons. I'm an economist by training, so I know that the heart of economic analysis sits Spock, the rational man who makes a cost-benefit analysis of every single decision that is open to him. Now, picture yourself over lunch after this session. Will I have red wine, soda, or apple juice? Let me just take out my notepad, weigh up the cost-benefit analysis of each of those options. Let me think about my propensity to consume at this lunchtime. It's crazy. The truth is, we are all Homer. We are emotional creatures who navigate our way through this very complex and interconnected world. We navigate our way through very cleverly using instinct, habit, emotion. So, simply providing information, simply giving incentives is not enough. We will not change people's behaviour in that way. There are so many factors affecting how we behave, from our mood on that day to whether we've been primed to buy green. So what we need to do is persuade Homer and make sustainability something desirable and something he wants to do. So I have a bad example too, and it's a group of California utilities who got together and put on a campaign on a responsible summer. Boy, do I want one of those. They spent $200 million on an advertising campaign, and the result was next to nothing. On the opposite end of the spectrum are the moo cow bins. So, local councils in London had been trying to raise recycling rates for years. They had bins, which you find in the centre of town, and you drive there, or around town, you drive there and you drop your recycling off. No one wants to do it, it's a pain, there are better things to do, rather go shopping, etc. So what they did is they painted these bins in cow colours, painted some green grass around them, wait for it, inserted a little widget inside the lid So when you lifted the lid up, the bin went moo. And recycling rates shot up. Everyone wanted to do it. Anecdotal evidence says that more waste was generated because people wanted to feed the moo cow bins. So, back to my washing analogy, selling sustainability is not like selling a different brand of soap. It is more like persuading people to use soap for the very first time. I have so many tips I would like to give you, but I'm going to stick to 3. My favourite ones for actually cutting through to people and changing behaviour. And number 1 is status. Sustainable behaviours are very low status often. It is more high status to dry your washing in the tumble dryer than it is to put it on the line, for example. So at Futerra, we created a little campaign called Swishing. We rebranded clothes recycling. We gave it a swish name, a positive name, Swishing, and we started running parties where women, it's mainly women, I'm afraid, men, your clothes don't fit us, women come along and swap clothes. It's been amazingly successful. There are swishing parties across the globe. We have thousands of fans on Facebook and thousands of Twitter followers. And it's just a little idea about reframing clothes recycling as something that's glam and fun to do. My second recommendation is around social proof. Again, a barrier around sustainability behaviours is that they take place behind closed doors. How would you know that someone is saving water or saving energy in the home? And what Earth Hour does, which is an international campaign, is it gives proof that people are changing their behaviour. So for an hour, once a year, citizens in cities around the world turn off their lights to send a message to the world that together we can solve climate change. And you see beautiful imagery giving some sense of calm in the city. Final point is salience. We cannot imagine what a low-carbon future looks like. And until we can imagine something, it is very hard to work towards something. So this is Karl Lagerfeld's vision of a positive future. This is the opening of Paris Fashion Week, where Karl flew in icebergs from Sweden to show climate change chic. It's desperately unsustainable, but my goodness, it's glam and sexy. So we've been working on sustainability communications in the UK for 15 years. There's some things we've learned how to do, there's some things we've learned not to do. One thing I would beg you not to import from us is guilt. This says, Al Gore knows how many napkins you take. Guilt really shuts us down and doesn't work. So that's my final point.